Welcome back to the I Am Black Talent Podcast. I'm Latanya Davis, your host, and today we're talking about our communities. We're going to talk about it in a way that's different. Your people are your power source. Queens and crowns. Let me say this plain. Your biggest bag is hiding inside a community that you haven't built yet. We've been taught to chase followers, but followers do not fund your legacy. Communities do. If it's your first time tapping into me in this podcast, I'm Latanya Davis, and I'm here to be able to let you in on some of the really great insight that I have in building my businesses and also building my career. Let's get ready with a manifestation. Let's say this out loud. I attract my people with ease, clarity, and confidence. My community multiplies because it is rooted in truth, culture, and collective power. Every space I build becomes a sanctuary for wealth, wellness, and wisdom. So here's what I want to say to you all. I started my Identity Innovators community with 90 people. There were AI enthusiasts, career strategists, digital product queens. I built it to show Black women how to center our culture in AI and digital entrepreneurship. And in 2 weeks, we already had 1,000 members. Why? Because I didn't chase followers. I built a community around a pain point and a promise. I didn't launch it with a $20,000 ad budget. I shared wins, I dropped AI prompts, and I opened the conversations that no one else was having. That community didn't just grow. It is a community that is ultimately going to fund projects. It's going to fill workshops, and it's going to be a great customer base for so many people. So why should Black women build a community? Followers scroll, communities stay. I'm going to say it again. Followers scroll and communities stay. I really want to hit this point because when I first got on LinkedIn, I had 500 followers and everybody was in the education space because that's where I was known originally. And as I began to see it was a powerful platform, I decided to branch out and to begin to post. And I began with videos, and then I began posting my thoughts and what I believed in different things. And I had so many people coming and following, and it was amazing. But here's what I want to say. Over the years, it's grown to, I think, over 9,000 followers, which is awesome. But that doesn't necessarily mean that everybody in my actual followership is going to be a person who's going to say, oh, you know what? Latanya is a great candidate for X, Y, and Z. I'm going to go ahead and recommend her name. So followers scroll. They see what you do. And unless you are giving them a call to action, they may stay or they may not. So I wanted to just let you know that you want to have what are called aligned followers. Aligned followers are people that you know for certain that you've met, you have a conversation with, you know their work, they know your work, and that you can call on them should you need something, or they can call on you should they need something. And that need something could just be a recommendation, right? For someone who might need to do something if you're an entrepreneur. The other place comes into play when you're looking for a job, and you might need to have a person who can get your foot in the door. So you have that. So I just wanted to remind you that followers scroll, communities stay. Communities create repeat buyers. It's built-in feedback and word of mouth marketing. Huge. Especially we know within the Black community, we know that word of mouth is everything. And so that is our word of mouth marketing that we use through our communities. Next. Your community becomes your proof of concept for brand deals, partnerships, and investors. And I can speak to this directly. Your community becomes your proof of concept for brand deals and partnerships. So listen, it is so intriguing to me how I randomly got on LinkedIn, on TikTok. Randomly got on TikTok, was not intending to stay. Got on there, wanted to say Merry Christmas, came back the next morning, was going to delete my account. I had 1,000 followers. Incredible, right? And everyone was focusing on my hair, just telling me all kinds of compliments on my hair. And I appreciated it so much and I loved it, but I never thought about my hair as its own brand. As a result, I hopped on and I began to talk about the things that were important to me. My hair, autism, entrepreneurship, Black women. And I began to build a community of people who would come to my events and would follow me because of what I was talking about. Because of that, I was able to get 38 different brands to reach out to me to ask for me to partner with them on their different products. Incredible, right? So your community really does become an amazing space for you. And I wanted to share that. This is why it's so powerful to have community. It's also where your frameworks, your flywheels, and your GPTs get their first wins. So if you don't know what those are, go back and listen to the other episodes because I'm sharing what those are. So how do you build a digital community? Number one, you should name it with intention. I chose Autism Moms Collective, Naturalistas Hair Academy, 4C in the C-Suite, and AI Identity Innovators because it speaks to the mission and the culture. Number two, identify your niche's pain point. I used to be so against the word niche, like, oh, I can just serve everybody, which technically I guess I kind of am in a way because of my intersections. But really, it is the niche of the culture. It's the niche of my intersections of autism moms, of Black women, naturalistas, DEI and AI. And so you want to ask yourself, is it AI for Black women? Is it natural hair business owners? Is it autism moms? Is it career equity queens? Is it diverse talent? So you get the point. Identify your niche's pain point. What specifically is it that you want to solve for them that you have already solved for yourself? Number three, pick your anchor. Pick your product that's an anchor. I love this part. What is your anchor product? Because I've toyed with this throughout my time being an entrepreneur, and I love the fact that I've tested and tried different things. And what I found that really works really well is to have one signature brand product. That's what I call it, a signature brand product. That's the thing that you definitely want to make sure that people know you for. And so therefore it could be, for you, it could be an audit. It could be a digital download. It could be an ebook. It could be keynote replays. It could be a workshop, a masterclass, a guide, a checklist. So I'm just giving you some ideas of what you could have, as your possible anchor. When I think of my anchor, I think of the thing that I want people to know me for. And people know me for specifically my GPTs, which are my AI tools. They know me for my frameworks and my 91-day action plans. And they definitely know me for the freebies that I give, because the complimentary things that I give out are valuable. They're valuable. If you're giving anything out for free, please make sure it's valuable. Please make sure it's valuable. That's really, really key. All right. Number four, you want to create your daily moves. So you want to host live events. You want to do posts. You can do a newsletter. I love sharing behind the scenes. People really like when I do that, which I didn't even realize at the time, because it gets to show them what's happening in my world behind the scenes. So those are really great for you to do as well. It also brings people into your world so your community gets to see who you are. And then number five, make your community move with you. So whether you're on Facebook, Discord, Twitter, or a private platform, show up and give them culture-centered value. Now, I will be honest with you, because I'm an autism mom, I can't do everything all the time. I can't even make it to events that everybody gets to go to. So I have to think very smart about how I choose to show up. And so when I show up, it's super intentional and is really engaged. A good example of that is I was invited to be on a podcast for the release of Space to Exhale, which is an amazing book by my great friend, Lisa Hurley. And because I know Lisa, I know her book is amazing. I read her book. I showed up for her. I made sure to do it. And even when I was on the actual live podcast, my son came in and got his little, cameo appearance, which he always has to do. But again, because I'm an autism mom, I have to be very cognizant of what I have to do for him and what I have to do for me. So even with that, I still show up and I talk to my community about those things so that they understand this is the life I have, right? And so it is what it is. All right, let's do a closing prayer. So Proverbs 27:17 says, as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. I so believe in that, y'all. Lord, thank you for the power of community. I declare that every woman under the sound of my voice will build spaces and sharpen, sustain, and uplift her people. Bless her work, bless her hands, as she builds not for ego, but for legacy. Send her divine connections, multiplied opportunities, and rooms filled with her kind of people. May her community become a wellspring of wealth, wisdom, and generational change. In Jesus' name, amen. Queens and crowns, it's your time to build community. And everything I'm talking about is something that can build you revenue. You can have a community where you have it as free, or you can also have a community where you build your brand awareness, or you can also have a community where you are also charge a membership fee, but you're still offering value. I want you to go ahead and think about grabbing the free career equity audit. You can also get the free career equity audit, as well as the free digital business audit. You can also join our private 4C in the C-suite community, or drop a comment below. What kind of community have you always wanted to build, and what's stopping you? This is where we're helping one another out, and we're seeing you to grow. So thank you so much. I'd love for you to share this podcast with 5 other women. Thank you so much for being here today, and I hope you all have a wonderful evening.